Good afternoon. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the corruption detector, and this is your Red Pilled Weekend News Brief. Today is Saturday, January 5th. And first off, we have a story from the Gateway Pundit about Roger Stone. Roger Stone says, Mueller's investigators have harassed me, tracked down my maid, and rummaged through my garbage. Sounds like the typical actions of a Democratic cuck. Roger Stone, a longtime confidant and friend to President Trump, told the Daily Mail in an interview that Mueller's investigators are harassing him. Go figure. Mr. Stone said that Mueller's troops tracked down his temporary maid to ask her about his so-called ties to Russia. Then they rummaged through his trash. Stone, 66, said Mueller's team has interviewed 19 of his friends and even showed witnesses photos of a 2-year-old child he may have fathered with Manhattan Madam Kristen Davis. What? Roger Stone says he does not expect to be indicted because they got nothing. Via the Daily Mail. Stone accused Mueller of harassment after the counsel's sleuths tracked down and interviewed 19 of his friends and business associates. My cleaning lady had to go back to Cuba for a while, so I hired a temp, Stone said. The temp only spoke Spanish. I never knew her name or anything, yet government agents found her in Miami. They asked her if I was meeting with Russians at home. Now, how they found her, when I didn't even know her name, I can only guess. I know she had nothing to say to them, because she only spoke Spanish. He claims agents showed some of Stone's friends a photo of the 2-year-old boy born to Kristen Davis, the infamous Manhattan Madam, whose prostitution service was used by disgraced former New York Governor Eliot Spitzer, and allegedly the likes of retired baseball slugger Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod. They kept asking if the baby was mine, the married Stone said. What does that have to do with Russian collusion? The baby is not mine, I'm the godfather. But that's an invasion of privacy if I've ever seen one. Mueller is gunning for Roger Stone and is trying to connect the dots between Russian hackers, Stone, Donald Trump, and WikiLeaks. Roger Stone has repeatedly stated he never discussed WikiLeaks with Donald Trump, and even if he did, it is not a crime. Stone says the crushing legal fees and controversy surrounding him because of Mueller has made life more difficult for him and has affected his consulting business. On Friday, an Obama-appointed federal judge extended Mueller's grand jury for another 6 months. So unless something is done to stop King Mueller, he will continue to produce criminal indictments. The new attorney general should immediately fire Robert Mueller and appoint a special counsel to investigate Rosenstein, Mueller, and every other corrupt deep state dweller involved in Russiagate. Amen. What's going on there, new AG? We need you. We need you to step in because this is getting out of hand. Lord. Poor Roger Stone. And now from the Daily Caller, Trump calls out WAPO and NBC News as weekend shutdown talks start. President Trump went on the attack against the Washington Post and NBC News on Saturday morning while tweeting about weekend talks to end the partial government shutdown. Great reporting coming from all sides for border security, including wall, on our very dangerous southern border. Teams negotiating this weekend. Washington Post and NBC reporting of events, including fake sources, has been very inaccurate, to put it mildly, Trump wrote on Twitter Saturday. His criticism of the media outlets may stem from headlines like, Analysis, the administration is using heavily inflated numbers to argue for a border wall, and I can do it if I want. Trump threatens to invoke emergency powers to build border wall, both from the Washington Post. Minutes later, Trump added the Democrats could solve the shutdown problem in a very short period of time. All they have to do is approve real border security, including a wall, something which everyone, even the drug dealers, human traffickers, and criminals want very badly. This would be so easy to do. Congress helped trigger the shutdown after a short-term continuing resolution to fund the government expired on December 21st. At the center of the funding battle is $5 billion for the border wall Trump wants to build. Talks to end the partial government shutdown will continue through the weekend, including a working group headed by Vice President Mike Pence, Trump said at a press conference in the White House Rose Garden Friday. There he is with a couple of patriots. Trump said he was ready to keep the government shut down for months or even years if that's what it took to push his border security plan through, reported the AP. Trump and congressional leaders exited a White House meeting about the situation on Friday with no deal to reopen the government. And who was it that shot him? It was a Democrat. All right, now finally from the Gateway Pundit, The Chinese government is using U.S. tech giant censorship of conservative Americans as a model to clamp down on its own citizens. Wow, go figure. For years now, U.S. tech giants have been censoring conservative, patriotic, and Christian content and eliminating conservative publishers online. The U.S. tech giants believe only their viewpoints must be tolerated online. This is not an exaggeration. Just 2 weeks ago, Facebook censored an image of Santa Claus kneeling before the Christ child. How can you censor that? What is there to censor in this image? This is beautiful. Just last week, Facebook censored a post honoring slain California officer Corporal Ronel Singh. Singh was shot dead on Christmas night by an illegal alien. There's the hero and there's the zero. Stories like this are common in the United States. Facebook eliminates conservative content, Twitter shadow bans conservative users, Google hides links to conservative outlets and news, YouTube demonetizes conservative pages, happens every day. Wikipedia litters conservative pages with smears. I'm also familiar with that one. Amazon prevents advertising on conservative publications. I know all about that too. In September, the Gateway Pundit founder Jim Hoft testified to Congress on Facebook targeting of conservative publishers and content. The U.S. tech giants have perfected how to censor and deplatform opposing conservative voices in America and the West. They're doing it for your own good. Now U.S. tech giants are exporting this knowledge to the Chinese government. Well, just one more example of where the loyalties lie in this country. You are a criminal if you're a conservative. All of these things have happened to me, with the exception of the Facebook information, because I don't have a Facebook. But I've been shadow banned. I get demonetized. My stuff gets hidden. It gets deleted. It's pretty insane. I don't know if this is ever going to end, guys. I mentioned the other day about getting our own conservative platform together. And I thought Gab was that platform at one time, but then, if you had a Gab account, then people would start targeting you for that. So I don't know. I don't know where to go from here. All I know is that I'm not leaving. I'm going to keep up the fight here on YouTube, and I'm going to keep bringing you guys news that I think is important. All right. I hope everyone can join me tonight for the live stream at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got a lot of really cool things to go over that I don't want to put in a regular video because as soon as I do, YouTube is going to censor it. So they can't get me past the live stream. If you guys can be so kind as to make sure you click that notification button, like, share, and subscribe. Get this report out to as many people as you possibly can. Thank you once again for joining me. I am Red Pill 78, the corruption detector, and this was your Red Pill News for Saturday, January 5th. Everyone, good luck and God bless.